Hi, I'm Zach.
And I'm Brandon.
And we're
the
Bourbon Bros. Nice, I hit it.
All right, Zach, we've got a heck of a lineup here, but I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, so today we got some beautiful bottles in front of us, but today we are going to be testing out and tasting some of our most high-end ryes that we have, and we're gonna decide which one we prefer. So we do have kind of some higher-end ryes. They're all over $100. We have Heaven's Door here, which is their Decade series.
Great bottle.
Great bottle,
Yeah.
Beautiful look. It comes in at 100 proof, and then you have our Smoke Wagon. It is a private barrel that we got on our first trip bourbon hunting, and that's from Costco. That comes in at 114 proof.
Also a great bottle.
Also a beautiful bottle. And then this one actually is most intriguing, one of our newest adds of ryes to our collection. This is our Jack Daniel's rye. It's got a beautiful color to it, but it is also a single barrel.
Barrel proof.
Barrel proof, yep.
And from what I've heard about this one, this is one of the most bourbon friendly straight rye. All right, well, I'm excited. Let's dive in.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Brandon's not quite the rye guy, so I kind of want him to try all these without any sort of a visual opinion. So he's gonna be tasting them blind, I'll be pouring. Brandon, I poured your first blind out of the 3 ryes that we have for today.
Yeah, so I mean, initial thoughts, just looking at the color, ryes to me typically don't get that dark. Tend to have more of like a honeysuckle kind of hue to it. I was going for a nose. First thoughts.
Yeah.
Citrusy.
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 Okay.
Yeah, like a bright citrusy, like orange peel, but I don't get a lot of like distinct sweetness.
Okay. I'm feeling like I'm smelling like some berries, maybe some blackberry type smells. Yeah, a little on that bitterness side of a berry.
What's that blue Jolly Rancher?
Like a raspberry?
Yeah, like the blue raspberry?
Yeah.
Specifically that blue Jolly Rancher?
Like the candy kind.
I could be convinced that might be what I'm smelling here.
Okay. We're going for a taste?
Let's do it.
What do you think of the taste so far?
Yeah, so it's very good. So for me, that citrus transfers over into the palate. What about you?
It definitely gave me a candy of like Red Hots. I'm getting that cinnamon. Maybe that's probably that rye that's giving me a little bit of spice, but it's like a nice sweet, like it's a candy sweet.
Second sip here, I did pick up like a really nice creaminess to it. Citrus on the front, mid-mouth, I'm picking up some creaminess. What I'm not getting is a distinct rye spice, which I like, actually. That's part of the rye that I tend to lean away from.
But it's definitely a smooth rye.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. All right, Zach, enough of the foreplay. Let's see what we're working with.
It is our lowest proof out of the 3. This is our Heaven's Door 10-year Decade series.
So I'm glad I didn't say anything bad about this, because when we had this on its own at a different time, I really enjoyed it, and once again, it held up.
Yeah, and I feel like it's going to be hard to say anything bad about all 3 of these today.
Good start.
Let's move on to the next. Rye whiskey number 2. Brandon, let's get your initial thoughts.
I would say this one's got a little more depth to the color, a little darker hue, I would say. On the nose, I'm definitely picking up the berries you got in the last one.
Berries.
And maybe like a little bit of honey and oats. On my head, I'm picturing oatmeal with berries and honey.
Okay, oatmeal, berry, and honey. I would totally agree with the oatiness. The honey definitely shines through.
All right, so flavor-wise, I'm getting a little bit of berry transfer, but to your credit, I'm actually picking up like a creamy vanilla and a little bit of caramel, which are pretty much traditional bourbon flavors. This has a little more of that rye profile as well. I'm kind of picking up, back end here, I'm picking up like a nice cinnamon and a little black pepper tingle on the tip of the tongue as well, which I always associate with a high rye bourbon for sure, but obviously rye as well.
Yeah, this one gives you a nice little spice.
Now, if we're looking for best bourbon, or rather best rye, I think the flavor of this one was better than the Heaven's Door. I just feel like the finish doesn't quite give me what the last one did.
I see.
So I'd say that I agree. Nose plus, flavor plus, finish, mouthfeel, I would say I'd give the advantage to the Heaven's Door.
Okay, good to go. All right, shall we reveal?
Let's take a look.
Let's take a peek. This is gonna be your Smoke Wagon private barrel from Costco, 114 proof.
Yeah, it looks like this. They tell you a little bit about the rickhouse placement too. It looks like it came out of warehouse E, floor number 1. I don't know how relevant that is in Nevada.
No, I don't
just
know.
because there's not a lot of humidity and it's always hot there.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you know, I'm sure they could put it on any floor and get the same result. It's cool. It's cool that they list that.
Yeah, I think so too. To answer that mash bill question, this is a 51% rye, 45% corn,
4% malted barley.
and 4% malted barley. At the end of the day, I think that is a beautiful bottle.
Yeah, great looking bottle, great whiskey. No negative comments about it for sure. It was really good.
All right, shall we go to the next?
Let's do it. We got a newcomer to the party here. We got the Bourbon Dog. We decided to join the party here.
This is our next pour.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? There's no need to be bashful here. Why don't we just bring it out? I think I know what it is. There's only one bottle left. Let's bring it out. Let's put it on the table and then let's talk a little more.
You know what? And I think it's a really nice show bottle. This bottle looks beautiful. I think it's the best looking out of any of the bottles that we have for the rye.
Daniels is nailed with the shelf presence. The juice looks good too. This is a nice dark whiskey. I mean, I wouldn't expect that out of a rye. Like I said, typically I think kind of a little lighter, kind of golden color, but this has got a little darker.
It has a very, like you can hold it up to the light and you're like, wow, that is an amber color.
What is going on in this glass? I just took a sniff and that tastes like a ripe banana peel.
It definitely has a sharp sweetness to it. It smells a lot like a bourbon.
Yeah, definitely. I would say it's got like a darker, maybe like a brown sugar molasses kind of scent to it.
Yeah, and I would be real curious to see what the mash bill is for this.
So you would
Take a sip, please. Indulge.
Holy cow! Whoa, that's intense. Firstly, that's got the most bold profile of the day. What do you think, Bourbon Dog?
She's like, wow, that's sweet, and I like sweet.
What did you pick up on that one?
I'm definitely picking up some sweet notes that are definitely underlining there. I would say a little bit of honey, but it's definitely delivering that spice all the way across my tongue, and that's something I really am looking for in a rye.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of got like knocked back in my seat a little bit. Picture this. Banana nut bread. So I'm getting that banana transfer onto the palate for sure. Definitely some nuttiness, and then like a little kind of yeasty breadish feel to it. And when I think like shortbread, I feel like shortbreads are typically like heavily baking spice infused, and I agree with you. Baking spice from front to back. I actually don't know if I've ever had a whiskey that tasted more like banana. To be honest with you, I would even say like a banana Laffy Taffy. It's kind of like that creamy.
It's definitely creamy.
Yeah.
It has a creaminess to it, it has a sweetness to it, and it does deliver a nice spice.
Mouthfeel, finish, what do you think?
I'd actually asked to look for maybe a little bit more of a chew on the finish. I would ask for a little more viscosity, but it does. So this is 131 proof, almost 132 proof. And
131 proof?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And it's warm. It definitely warms you up and delivers that heat, but in a very gentle, smooth way.
Well, that's probably the charcoal filter, right?
Yeah.
That probably rounds it off a little bit. I literally would have never guessed it was 131.
It's hot.
I would say like 110, 115. I feel ashamed that we haven't had more Jack Daniels.
I would say this bottle is very distinguished.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm gonna finish up my glass and maybe we could bring all three out and make our decision.
All right, that sounds good.
So Zach, first of all, thank you. I thought this was great. Blinding each one of these individually kind of gave me a new appreciation for each one of them. So I think each one of them had a standout. I think each one was uniquely different. I really loved the mouthfeel and finish of the Heaven's Door 10-year. I thought that the smell on the Smoke Wagon was probably the best scent of them all, just because it had a really light floral, almost berry-like scent to it. But ultimately, I think that the Jack Daniels punched heavy in every category. I think it delivered a really well-rounded profile, nose, flavor, and mouthfeel. And quite frankly, I think it was just uniquely different than the other two.
I think Heaven's Door is delicious. I think Smoke Wagon is delicious. I think Jack Daniels is delicious. I think Jack Daniels is definitely the most distinguishable. I would say that this one was probably the smoothest if I had to give it a category. This one definitely gave off the best smell.
Yeah, the aroma was good.
And then this one was all around delicious. It gave a lot of character throughout the palate, front to back, and it also lingered long. It was chewable and delicious. I would recommend this one the most as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no bad rye in the lineup. They're all really, really good. It was just good, better, and best, right?
Right.
That was really what it came down to.
Exactly.
I think we have a definitive answer here. The Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye is our best $100 rye. You agree?
I would agree.
All right, guys, if you made it through this rye adventure with myself, Zach, and Bourbon Hound, we appreciate you. But Zach, is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, please, guys. If you made it this far, like, subscribe, comment. Maybe there's a lineup or there's a different video that we can make a different lineup for.
A suggestion.
Yeah, a suggestion would be wonderful. We want to continue to make these videos, so we appreciate you guys.
All right, for now, I'm Brandon.
And I'm Zach.
And we're the Bourbon Bros.
Where's your hand? There it is.
This definitely does taste like banana, though.
All right, well, you're an idiot.
All right, cheers.
It's not even the same bourbon, is it? This isn't Jack Daniel's, is it? It is?
You've had too much rye whiskey today. Yes, it is Jack Daniel.
It is the Jack Daniel's.
That's really good.
It is delicious.
Can't believe it's 131 proof.
It's
Almost 132 proof.
You can tell it's the Jack Daniel's immediately as it hits your palate.